William Foster, a 33-year-old real estate tycoon, was the epitome of success in his field. Known for his keen eye for luxury properties and his ability to transform urban landscapes, he had built a life that many envied. Yet, despite his professional triumphs, William often felt a void, a yearning for the kind of love that his parents, Linda and George, had shared for over 40 years. Linda and George were the picture of a perfect couple. Their unwavering support for each other and their ability to navigate life's challenges as a team inspired William's belief in true love. He often found himself reflecting on their relationship, hoping to one day find someone with whom he could share a similar bond. However, William's journey in love had been less than ideal. Failed relationships and mismatched priorities had left him disheartened. Though he had grown accustomed to the solitude that came with his high-powered career, his mother, Linda, refused to accept that her son would settle for anything less than happiness. When Linda approached William about attending an upcoming volunteer gala, her enthusiasm was hard to ignore. "Just one night, William. You never know what surprises life might bring," she said with a knowing smile. Reluctantly and out of love for his mother, William agreed, unaware that the night would set the stage for a life-changing encounter. William had experienced several promising relationships, but none of them lasted. His first serious relationship was with Victoria, a young and ambitious colleague in the real estate industry. They met during a startup project and quickly bonded over their shared drive and vision. However, when Victoria accepted a position at a major company abroad, the distance became an insurmountable barrier, leading to their breakup. Years later, William met Isabel, an interior designer he worked with on a high-end development project. Isabel was passionate and creative, and their relationship unfolded rapidly. But when the topic of long-term goals arose, it became clear that their visions for the future were incompatible, and they parted ways. William's most recent relationship was with Sophia, a university lecturer he encountered at a guest lecture event. Sophia brought a sense of calm and depth that William had always sought, but their differences in lifestyle and personal obligations made it impossible to continue their relationship. These repeated disappointments left William disillusioned about love. Despite his growing cynicism, his mother, Linda, remained undeterred. She was convinced that with a bit of persistence, she could help her son find the perfect match. Linda Foster was a lively, altruistic woman who firmly believed in her ability to bring happiness to others, especially her son. Actively involved in community volunteer work, Linda also prided herself on her matchmaking skills. Although William rarely appreciated her efforts, she never wavered in her mission to find the perfect partner for him. One day, Linda approached William with a new plan. "Sweetheart, there's an upcoming gala to honor major community sponsors, and I think you should come with me," she said, her eyes sparkling with excitement. William sighed, already sensing a hidden agenda. He felt uneasy about his mother's repeated matchmaking attempts. But Linda pressed on. "It's just one evening, William. You don't have to do anything. Just relax, have fun, and maybe meet some interesting people." Reluctantly, William agreed, but with one condition. "Fine, Mom, but at least tell me who you're planning to set me up with," he said cautiously. Linda only smiled mysteriously and replied, "Trust me, it's going to be a surprise you'll never forget." With a mix of curiosity and apprehension, William began to prepare for the gala. Little did he know, the encounter awaiting him would forever change the course of his life. On the evening of the gala, William stepped into the grand hall dressed impeccably in a black suit. The soft lighting reflected off the ornate floral arrangements and silk drapery, but none of it held his attention. His mind was preoccupied with the lingering curiosity and nervousness about who his mother had chosen for him to meet. Standing near the entrance, William's gaze swept across the room. Then, his eyes locked on a familiar figure. Amidst the sea of strangers, Emma appeared, even more beautiful than he remembered. Her long chestnut hair flowed naturally, and the emerald green dress she wore highlighted her elegance. For a moment, it felt as if time itself had paused. Emma noticed him too. "William, is that really you?" she called, her voice carrying a melody of familiarity that instantly transported him back to the past. William moved toward her, feeling as though the years of separation had melted away. "Emma, I can't believe it's you. Seeing you here, it feels unreal," he said, his voice trembling slightly. They stood frozen for a moment, gazing at each other as if trying to make up for lost time. "Do you remember when we used to play hide and seek in your garden?" William asked, his smile widening. "You always found me because I couldn't stop laughing." Emma laughed, her eyes lighting up. "And every time you'd blame my cat for startling you." Their shared laughter echoed, bringing back the comfort and ease they once shared. Finding a quiet corner, they sat down and allowed the memories to flow freely. "Do you remember our camping trip in 10th grade?" Emma asked. "We stayed up all night just counting stars. And then it rained so hard we had to crawl into your parents' tent," William replied, grinning. "You took my blanket and said it was the price I had to pay for forgetting the snacks." Emma's gentle smile grew warmer as she added, "Those were some of the best days of my life. Being with you always made everything feel so special." William looked into her eyes, feeling as though he had traveled back in time. "They were the best days for me too. Back then, you were the most important person in my life. I always thought we'd never be apart." Emma's expression softened, a touch of sadness flickering in her gaze. "I thought so too. But life doesn't always go the way we hope. When I left, I missed you so much." They reminisced about summer afternoons playing ball in the park, studying under the old oak tree in Emma's front yard, and even the innocent promise they made to marry one day. As they talked, the bond between them became evident. It hadn't faded with time or distance. "Do you ever wonder what things would have been like if you hadn't left?" William asked, his voice low and heartfelt. Emma nodded quietly. "I've thought about it so many times, William, but now I'm just glad we have this chance to see each other again." In that moment, William felt something undeniable. This was not just a reunion. It was the second chance he had been waiting for all along. In the days following the gala, William and Emma quickly became inseparable. They seized every moment to talk, reconnect, and share the stories of their lives during the years they had been apart. William invited Emma to visit his office, a sleek, modern building that reflected his success in real estate. As they strolled through the showcase of projects he had spearheaded, Emma couldn't hide her admiration. "I always knew you'd achieve great things, but seeing all of this, it's incredible. I'm so proud of you." William smiled. "And you? Being a travel journalist must be such an adventure. Where have you been?" Emma eagerly recounted her journeys, from the historic cities of Europe to the remote villages of Africa. "The stories and people I've encountered have taught me so much," she said, her eyes sparkling with the passion she had for her work. They walked through the park where they had spent countless childhood afternoons. Emma pointed to an old oak tree and laughed. "Do you remember when you tried to climb that tree to get our ball? You got stuck and I had to help you down." William chuckled. "Not only do I remember, but I also remember you scolding me the whole way home for ripping your shirt." With every meeting, William realized more and more that Emma wasn't just his first love. She was his confidant, his kindred spirit. Emma, who had once been a carefree teenager, had grown into a strong, independent woman, full of life and ambition. William admired her resilience and the light she carried despite life's challenges. Yet, one undeniable truth loomed over them. Emma had a well-established life abroad. She had her job, her friends, and a home far from the city William called his own. One sunny afternoon, they found themselves sitting on the same park bench where they had said goodbye years ago. William looked at Emma, his expression pensive. "I never thought I'd see you again," he said, his voice thick with emotion. "But now that you're here, I can't imagine losing you again." Emma met his gaze, her eyes filled with a mixture of joy and sorrow. "William, I feel the same way. But it's not simple. My life is somewhere else, and I can't just leave everything behind." A wave of determination swept over William. He couldn't let this chance slip away. Not this time. Time passed quickly, and the day of Emma's departure was fast approaching. Despite spending so much time together, William couldn't bring himself to confess his feelings for her. He felt hesitant, afraid of rejection, and worried that their lives in different countries would make it impossible to be together. The night before Emma was set to leave, Linda noticed her son's inner turmoil. "William," she said, placing a hand on his shoulder, "you can't let this opportunity slip away. If you truly love Emma, you have to tell her. Don't let fear hold you back. You'll regret it for the rest of your life." William sighed, his face conflicted. "But what if she says no, Mom? What if she doesn't want to leave her life behind for me?" Linda smiled warmly, her gaze firm but loving. "Love is worth the risk, William. Don't let doubt steal the happiness you deserve." Her words struck a chord deep within him. The next morning, after a restless night of contemplation, William made up his mind. He couldn't let Emma leave without telling her how he truly felt. He rushed to the airport, his heart racing, afraid he might be too late. When he arrived at the terminal, his eyes scanned the crowd, searching desperately for her familiar face. At last, he spotted her, standing near the boarding gate with her suitcase by her side. "Emma," William called out, his voice cracking slightly as it echoed through the bustling terminal. His heart pounded as if it might burst. Emma turned around, her eyes widening in shock. "William, what are you doing here?" she asked, her voice tinged with both surprise and curiosity. "Emma, I couldn't let you leave, not without telling you the truth. I've held this back for too long, and it's been eating me up inside. I love you. I've always loved you, and I can't imagine my life without you. Please, don't go," he said, his voice breaking with emotion. Emma stood frozen, her eyes welling up with tears. "William," she whispered, but he pressed on. "I can't imagine my life without you in it. If it means leaving everything behind here to be with you, I'll do it. Just give me a chance. Please. Don't go." Emma felt the sincerity in his words resonate deep in her heart. She smiled through her tears, stepping closer to him and wrapping her arms around him tightly. "William, I've been waiting for this. I love you. I don't want to leave you ever again." They embraced in the middle of the bustling terminal, as if the world around them had ceased to exist. Applause erupted from bystanders, but for William and Emma, only their shared moment mattered. After William's heartfelt confession at the airport, he and Emma decided to embrace a long-distance relationship. Despite the challenges, they remained committed to each other. Emma, a travel journalist, frequently moved between countries for her assignments, but always made time to connect with William. 6 months passed, and their love only deepened. One late autumn day, Emma brought William some exciting news. She had arranged to transfer her work base to his city, allowing her to continue writing but focus on domestic stories. This change meant she could stay close to William. He couldn't hide his happiness. "Emma, I can't believe it. Finally, distance won't stand between us anymore," he said, his eyes shining with joy. They began building a life together, sharing peaceful mornings over coffee, evening walks in the park, and weekends exploring hidden corners of the city. On a romantic winter evening, William decided it was time to take the next step. He prepared a candlelit dinner at his apartment, decorating the space with flickering candles and rose petals scattered across the floor. When Emma walked in, she was taken aback by the beautiful setup. "William, what's the occasion? Why did you go to all this trouble?" she asked, her eyes sparkling. William smiled, pulled out her chair, and they enjoyed the cozy dinner together. After the meal, William stood, took Emma's hand, and led her to the large window overlooking the glowing city lights. Turning to face her, his gaze was filled with sincerity. "Emma," he began, his voice trembling as he held her hands in his, "these 6 months apart have made me realize just how much you mean to me. Every moment without you felt incomplete. Now that you're here, I can't imagine a future where we're not together. I want you to be my partner, my equal, and my forever." He reached into his pocket, pulled out a small box, and knelt down, opening it to reveal a simple yet beautiful ring. "Emma, will you marry me?" Tears of joy welled up in Emma's eyes. Smiling, she nodded and whispered, "Yes, William, I will." They embraced under the warm glow of the candles, their laughter and joy filling the room. Their love had not only endured the distance, but proved that when two hearts are meant to be together, nothing is impossible. A few months after Emma accepted William's proposal, they celebrated their wedding in an intimate yet elegant ceremony at a luxurious seaside resort. The event took place at sunset, with the ocean stretching endlessly behind them and a gentle breeze adding to the magical atmosphere. They chose to keep the ceremony small, inviting only close family and friends. Emma wore a simple yet stunning white gown, perfectly embodying her graceful personality. Her hair was styled in a soft updo adorned with sprigs of baby's breath. William, dressed in a sleek black tuxedo, couldn't take his eyes off her from the moment she appeared. As Emma walked down the aisle, William felt his heart slow. In that moment, he knew that every challenge they had faced had been worth it. In his vows, William said, "Emma, I promise to love, honor, and stand by you through every high and low. You've completed me, and I can't wait to start this next chapter with you." With tears in her eyes, Emma responded, "William, I promise to always be by your side, to support you, and to love you unconditionally. You are my home, the place I always want to return to." Their first kiss, as husband and wife, marked the start of a new chapter. The reception that followed was filled with laughter, heartfelt toasts, and joyful dancing, with Linda shedding happy tears throughout the evening. After the wedding, William and Emma enjoyed a honeymoon in Tuscany, exploring cobblestone streets, savoring local wines, and creating new memories together. Upon returning, they began building a happy life in the home William had designed just for them. The house, located in a quiet neighborhood, was filled with natural light and featured a small garden in the back that Emma adored. Their mornings often started with coffee and warm conversations about their plans for the day. A year later, their happiness doubled when Emma revealed she was pregnant. William was overjoyed, embracing Emma tightly as he whispered, "I can't believe we're about to have a little family of our own." When their daughter, Lily, was born, their lives felt complete. Lily was a healthy baby girl with deep brown eyes like her mother's and a mischievous smile like her father's. William devoted himself to fatherhood, from changing diapers to telling bedtime stories. Emma, though still busy with her writing career, always prioritized time with her family. She often shared stories of her travels with Lily, dreaming of the day they would explore the world together as a family. One evening, as William cradled Lily in his arms, he looked around their cozy home, filled with warmth and love. Emma watched him, her heart full, as she said, "We've come such a long way, haven't we? From childhood dreams to the challenges of distance, to this." William nodded, his smile soft as he replied, "And through it all, I wouldn't want anyone else by my side but you. You've made every moment worth it, Emma." With love and warmth filling their home, William and Emma proved that no matter the challenges life brings, as long as they had each other, they could overcome anything and create a life full of happiness.